All right, welcome back, Bobcats. Let's just dive right in, take a look at some weather station models. So it's lab three. We're going to take a look at the weather station and to make them just these videos just as actionable as I can for you to move through some of the questions. We'll just dive right in. So question one, you can do this a couple times, is asking you to take these pieces out of the weather station model from the reference materials on the right and adding them to the station model in question one on the left. So let's just move through each one at a time. I'll show you how to do that with some additional reference materials, and then you can kind of plug and play with the other questions that are like this. So let's look at the first thing here. It's asking you for the temperature. And so you find it on your reference one on the right, and then you find it on the left. There's 85. There's no conversion needed here, so you just plug into your answers. You have 85. Now, wind speed has another step to it, but find it on the reference material on the right, showing you where the wind speed is indicated by what figure it is. You find it on the left, and I'm going to throw in an additional reference material here, where you have the wind, and you can use this diagram to determine what the wind speed is, and you can see on the question it's asking for it in miles per hour. You see the figure that it is, you match it with the reference material in the center here, and you know that's going to be 9 to 14 miles per hour. Plug that in for your answer on the left. Moving through to wind direction. So with wind direction, you're going to find it on the right. I put an arrow in here and then find it on the left. Here's a similar arrow. Now, wind direction is always named for the direction the wind is coming from. So if you're looking at the one on the right, you can see that the wind is coming from the south. So the bottom end of this figure coming up, the wind is coming from the south. So if we look at our station model A on the left, that wind is blowing from the southwest. So you're going to have a wind direction of the southwest. Cloud cover, or if you see on the right on the reference material, it's called sky cover, referencing this figure highlighted in purple. Find it on the left. It's the same one, so you can just know that this is also overcast given that it's provided in the example, but additional reference here for sky cover. Find whatever it is that is in that bubble and how it is filled in and plug in appropriately. Again, in this one, that is overcast. Moving on to pressure, there's an extra step to this one, but first let's identify it on the reference material. Pressure 998. Pressure is 979 on the left. If you look at the reference material, you have this 998, but then the answer is 999.8. Why is that? Well, with pressure conversion, to convert to millibars, you got to begin by adding a decimal point before the last number on the station model. So in this example, they put a dot in here. So you have a decimal over here. And then if the first two numbers are less than 50, you would place a 10 in front of the numbers, but this number is larger than 50. The first two it's 99, so it's larger. So if the numbers are larger than 50, you place a 9 in front of it. So they added the decimal to get 0.8 and then added a 9 in front of it. In our example, same thing. The first two numbers are above 50. You have 97, so you add a 9 in front of it and your decimal. So you get 997.9. Our dew point, another straightforward one. Find it on the reference material in the brown or bronze there. On the left, there's no conversion needed. It's in Fahrenheit already, so you just plug that one in. It is 57. The pressure change, identified here in the kind of pink or fuchsia color, if you will. In this one, it is rising. And in this one, what does that mean? It's the opposite. You can kind of deduce that it is falling, but here's another reference slide for it where the different figures you might come across, these are all in the lab instructions in the module for it. And so in this example, we find the one that identifies it's falling continuously. So just putting falling is fine for that. You can put continuously falling, it doesn't matter. I'll read them. And then current weather. Identify that in the reference material. See, it says weather here, little dot. On our example, we have an obscure looking shape. So another reference deck here. All these different weather symbols, you find what it matches. In our case, this one is a thunderstorm for question one. So you put in thunderstorm. You'll do this with each one of the questions that are like this and then move on to the next. Drawing and uploading a station model is one of the other questions here. And so big advocate for work harder, work smarter, not harder. Sometimes I do work harder, not smarter, but whatever gets you across the finish line. So you know what I did? I went straight to Google and I put in create a weather station model. First one that popped up was this Penn State Station Model tool. When you click on that link, it will provide you a page that looks just like this, and you'll see at the bottom of the page, it says, enter the observation data on the right to see the corresponding station model. So if you change, you can click on all of these options over here and make it create what you need in the inputs provided for question 5 and 6. So I did that, and you'll get a model that looks something like this. You can do it this way. You can be as creative as you want. You can use shapes in PowerPoint and create an image, however you want to do it, but then you'll upload that file to show that you've created a station model given the inputs provided. The rest of the lab will just be some observations and inferences on weather maps. All the information is provided in the lab. Take your time, read each one, look at it early and often, and then come back at it when you feel ready to tackle those questions. A little housekeeping here. Some of you did this, some of you didn't, but at the end of the syllabus, of which you were all introduced to last week, there was a final note down here at the bottom that said if you had read the whole syllabus thoroughly and emailed me a picture of a bobcat by the end of Friday last week on the 4th of July, you could get 3 bonus points. So thank you to those of you that read the whole syllabus and decided to get some extra points. I'll go back and add those 3 extra points to your first labs sometime this week. With that, good luck on lab 3. Take your time, give yourself time. Don't get tripped up. There's no trick questions. Read them thoroughly, and good luck.